All right. Praise God. We are here live, finally, on Confident Woman World Tour Live Chat. This is your host, Doreen Lettsome Reid. I am the visionary behind our upcoming amazing event that we're inviting all of you to, Leaders Rising the Confident Woman World Tour. And we have some amazing ladies here joining us from all around the world and have connections to different places of the world. So we just thank you for being here today, ladies. Dr. Fayola, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about your native land, where you have your family and where they still are, and how you came to the United States.
Well, first of all, Ms. Reid, it's an honor and delighted to be on this platform and to share. I believe as a woman of God, we are global. We are called to be global. And I also greet Ms. Valencia on the platform as well. Well, I am Dr. Phela Galika. I am your passion and purpose activator. I am a woman who's on fire for the Lord, and the way that God uses my gifts and talents, not just in ministry, but in the marketplace, is that I help you I know your purpose so you can identify your passions and live life out loud, because we are all called on the earth for an assignment. When we don't know our assignment, we're like zombies. We are walking dead. And so with all the things that God has allowed me as an author, as a speaker, as a nurse, as an educator, a serial entrepreneur, a coach, a consultant, I wear various hats and have won awards in those respects as well. And as far as my cultural background, I am first generation Haitian American. My parents are from the beautiful island of Haiti, a beautiful country of Haiti on the island of Hispaniola. And as being first generation American, it was quite challenging because my parents, even they were pretty Americanized. I was born in the 80s, so they were pretty Americanized, but understanding the cultural norms was kind of a challenge. Growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, middle class, and your parents still holding on to their cultural ways of upbringings and bearing their children and traditions. So there was conflict at times. But as I got older, I began to truly embrace my culture because I understood where my passion is. I understood where my drive and dedication to succeed in life. When you think about the Haitian people, you will always think about the word resilience. And let me tell you, I've definitely had to live by that principle, resilience, through various challenges in life. And being the niece of the late father, Dr. Gerard Jongis, which is considered, he's like the Dr. Martin Luther King for the Haitian community. So I saw the struggles of my people group, so to speak, as they were migrating here during the 70s and 80s. As being from Miami, we saw a lot of challenges that people of the Caribbean descent were dealing with in trying to cross over into the American land, American waters. You know, they had to fight for equal justice. They had to fight for their due diligence. When they were coming for political assignment, they were trying to escape whether it was the Duvalier regime or dealing with other challenges that was a threat to themselves or their family safety. And also wanting to provide, of course, coming to the land of freedom and opportunity, wanting to give their family and their children especially a different life, a life, good education, free education. I wouldn't say just good education, but free education, and just a country that would open so many opportunities up to them. And so being this woman who has to fill some big shoes because he was a Catholic priest, so unfortunately he did not have children. And as they say, it's like an Elisha and Elijah experience, that carrying the mantle, but in my own way. I've learned that, when we have legacy in our family, we still resonate with the legacy, but we have to do it in our own way. We can't follow the direct footsteps of those that came before us. And so over the years in my adulthood, I've been able to find my own way of, where social justice, giving back to the community. And even as a minister, I am an apostle. I function in a fivefold ministry, and both of my family are religious. My mom's side is Catholic. My dad's side is Anglican, or as they would say, the Church of England or Episcopal Church. And so finding my own place in this legacy that my family has left behind for me to follow has truly been a great experience. Being able to be in Miami, which is one of the biggest populations of the Haitian and Haitian American community. I am still very close to my culture. I am still very close to my family that I have over there as well. The last time I was able to visit was in 2017. Unfortunately, I haven't been back since due to some challenges that the country is facing from safety and, of course, dealing with COVID-19. But I still keep in close contact with my family, and I am just a proud Haitian American and honored to be on this platform today.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Fayola, for expressing your Haitian culture with us and expressing how that is such a large part of your life. We are so grateful that you are here on Confident Woman World Tour Chat and just taking us to the land of Haiti and giving us that backdrop of how you are so connected to your family and actually consistently resonate with Haitian American, even though you're living in Miami. So that is wonderful. So now, Miss Valencia, we want to turn everything over to you. We thank you for being here from the British Virgin Islands, and we welcome you as well. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your culture and a little bit about what you're doing in the BVI.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Valencia Brathwaite, a native of Anegada, which is the second largest island in the British Virgin Islands. I live in Tortola right now. I am the mother of 6 children, a widower. I do business with arts and crafts. I make gift items, gift baskets, different regalia for parties, pin-ons, bouquets. I'm also an artistpreneur where I do nutritional body shaping garments and skincare and coffee.
Okay.
My religious background is Methodist. I'm a proud Christian and I love to serve my God.
Yes.
And I pray that others would follow him all the way.
Yes. Wow.
We have a mixed culture in the BVI because we have many people coming from all destinations of the world, including Haiti, like the good friend.
Wow.
So we have
yeah.
a wide culture from the Eastern Caribbean, from England, all over the world. So our culture sometimes get dwindled among those, although I think we should try our best to keep it going because our culture is more important than those who come in and mix with us.
That is true. How do you go about sustaining your culture? Like you said, Ms. Valencia, you have so many outside influences, basically kind of like taking over, and your own identity and your culture is kind of getting lost. How does the people there in the BVI maintain, or are they trying to maintain their identity and their true culture as the BVI, or have they just said that it doesn't matter?
Just a few of them try. For example, at Christmas time, we have the local guava berry and the seaside grape wine. So a few of us still make that. We have the local tarts, which we use coconuts especially and guavas. And we make our local tarts. You will probably know it as a pie.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's different to how you make pies.
Yeah. I know it's different because it's going to
So
be good because you put your hand
try
to it, right?
keep the culture going.
Yes, ma'am. And I heard this on another interview where that seems to be a common issue that keeps coming up. And I'm so thankful that God put this in my heart to have Confident Women World Tour chats, because you get to hear so many different perspectives. And this is like the 3rd time I've heard a lady from a different country say, because of the outside influences, our culture to the native people is getting lost. And the older generation is trying to pass it to the younger generation, but they're not receiving it. What do you want to speak to on that, Miss Valencia?
That's a true fact, because they are so mixed up that they try to follow everybody else's culture except what you try to show them that is your own.
Mm,
So that's a true fact.
mm. Are there any
It's a
young
hard
people?
job, but we'll keep trying.
You keep trying. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, you know, do you have, now you said you have 6 children. Do you also have grandchildren and so forth, Miss Valencia?
Yes, I have over a dozen grandchildren.
Okay, so are they interested in the culture, or are they interested in learning the different things that you're teaching them about, you know, like you were saying, the tarts and the native way of cooking, the native way of doing Christmas? Are they interested in that at all, or they don't see the value in it?
Some of them. Some of them. Because some of them are still very young, so they'll have to learn it. But the older ones, they try to do some of the things.
Okay. Now, are you experiencing the same thing, Dr. Fiona, with the
We are
Haitian people?
with the younger generation, we are, and that's one of the challenges. I've been trying to leave Miami. I've lived other places along the East Coast, and came back in 2012. And since then, I've tried to move out of Miami because the cost of living, the heat. I missed the 4 seasons that I saw in the Carolinas and other places that I've lived. I've lived in Vermont, I've lived in Boston, I spent some time in New York. And so I've seen other places. But unfortunately, with us, with the younger generation, because they're trying to be an Americanized and acculturated, well, it's not, well, let me say this, it's not as bad as it was when I was growing up. When I was growing up, when there was a major influx of the Haitian community moving into the United States, especially during the 70s and 80s, you know, we got a lot of challenges. You know, there was myths that the Haitians started HIV/AIDS. You know, there would be things that, jokes that kids will make that were not so nice, such as Haitian body odor. They would say we eat cats and things like that. But over the years, the younger people are having issues keeping their culture, is because they're trying to fit in, because the American society, especially here in Miami, is a very hip hop culture. It is a culture that's very big on, you know, certain trends, I should say, that are taking place. And so they're trying to accumulate, or well, actually just fit in. They're kind of just leaving their culture behind. But one of the things that I think is a saving grace for me to still be in Miami is because in living other places, there's no other community like the Haitian community here in Miami, for a number of reasons. Besides, as I stated earlier, that it's one of the biggest populations outside of New York and Boston, and Canada, of course, is that we are so close to Haiti. It's like less than a 2-hour flight. So a lot of people would move, you know, fly back and forth, like people from the Caribbean, other parts of the Caribbean as well. Florida is like the gateway to the rest of the United States. So we still have that close culture as far as connection. But in getting the younger generation to understand, when I share with them as a community leader or as an educator, or even as a beauty queen, as a Miss International Excellence 2021, 2022, and you know, when I speak to the children in the Haitian community, you know, it's sad to see that some of them who even were born in Haiti, when they come here, they don't know where they lived when they were in Haiti. They don't know where they were born. They barely can speak the culture, and it's kind of heartbreaking for me. I don't have kids yet, but one of my things, whether I marry someone within my culture or not, that's going to be a big part of my family legacy, is sharing with my children, speaking the Haitian culture, learning some of our traditions that are Christian, of course, as well as some other stories that they need to know. Because I believe when you lose your heritage or lose who you are, I think it impacts your self-esteem. Because when I see kids who are of the Haitian culture or of any culture, and they don't identify to their native culture, they don't understand why they have to hold their head up high. I think it's a Caribbean thing. It's a people of color thing. You know, we take pride in our history. We take pride in our family legacy. And I even stand up tall and strong because I took the time to even invest in my own culture. I went to the University of Florida, and while I was there, I taught myself how to read and write Creole by taking classes. You know, my parents, they spoke the language to me. I would hear the stories and some of the traditions, but I really wanted to learn how to read and write Creole and learn the backdrop besides what my parents have shared with me. So I took the opportunity to invest in my own culture by taking classes. And then I submerged myself with individuals who are great historians. I am so fortunate, besides my uncle, my godmother is my uncle's the first Haitian Catholic priest to be ordained in the United States. My godmother, who's a Catholic nun, she's the first Catholic nun to be ordained in the United States. My godfather is an anthropologist, Professor Claude Charles. So I'm surrounded around a lot of community leaders who have built a legacy, not just in South Florida or in Florida, but literally around the world when we talk about Haitian migration. So I think it's important for us to share what we can. And just like Ms. Valencia said, you know, even if they're not willing to take it now, I think we still need to take that initiative and sharing the stories with them, sharing the tradition, because when they get older, they'll start to reflect on those things. Because I remember before my maternal grandmother passed away, I had the opportunity to ask her about her life. I had an opportunity to understand why she the way she was. She was a very devoted Catholic. She was a prayer warrior. She dealt with a lot of challenges, and it made me understand even my spiritual gifts. You know, being a prophet, being an apostle, being a prayer warrior, all that comes from my bloodline. And so we have to keep sharing those stories, and not only share them, but write them down. We have to make them as artifacts. You know, the Caribbean culture tends to be an old tradition, but we need to start writing books. We need to start recording these conversations. I've been trying to actually write down my family history, but unfortunately, every time I go to Haiti, I have to restart because I can't find the paper from the previous trip. But I think it's just taking those initiatives to have tangible things that can secure our culture, because that's our heritage, that's our heirlooms that we can share along with the younger generation. So I think it's something we shouldn't give up, because they'll come back and wish that, you know, they spent more time with their grandparents or their parents to really hear those great cultural stories and traditions.
Well, you mentioned something very key to what I'm getting ready to share on the screen with everyone. You mentioned about that we should tell our stories. So we know that Confident Women Rise is a opportunity to join as a co-author and tell your story. As the visionary for Confident Women Rise, I am just so happy to have all of these world tour chats, because I'm listening to these stories, and it's just an opportunity for us to come together from women all around the world and compile stories of confidence, and how we really need to be rooted and grounded in Christ first, and rooted and grounded in who we are, and rise up as women of confidence. So I am glad that I have this opportunity to be with you ladies. And also I do encourage anyone to get in contact with me. You can inbox me, you can go to my link tree, and you can get in contact with me. And if you are ready to rise up and tell your story as a confident woman, Confident Women Rise, become a co-author. This is your opportunity to really rise and shine. So ladies, I am so thankful that I've had this opportunity. Miss Valencia, thank you for joining us from the BVI. I wish you blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Continue to impart the knowledge of your culture to your family, because sometimes we don't realize that the younger generation is actually listening to us. We can't be moved by what we see. We have to be moved by what we believe. And faith does come by hearing. The more we do tell the stories of, you know, tell your culture, you never know who is literally going to one day say, you know what, my grandmama was right, or my aunt was right, or my family member was right. I understand what they're saying now, because I know my children now, they're all grown. And my daughter is almost 30 years old, and she's now telling me, well, Ma, I didn't understand this then when you said this, but now I understand. And that really blesses me as a mom, because as I was telling, it looked like hello. But now she's coming back saying, I'm thankful that you did tell me and you kept telling me. And now I understand why you were saying. So Miss Valencia, thank you. Continue to be strong. Y'all are so confident women. I would love to have y'all as co-authors with us for Confident Women Rise. Were y'all able to see the share screen when I was sharing?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I would love to invite you all to be co-authors, and we're going to have another co-author call on Tuesday, June the 15th from 6:30 to 7:30. We do that every Tuesday. So if you want to come in to listen to that presentation, you are more than welcome. So thank you for joining Confident Women Rise. Thank you for joining Confident Women Rise chat, and y'all have a good evening. Thank you so much. And make sure that if you're watching in the replay, go ahead and do it. You know what to do, ladies. Hashtag the Confident Woman. That's what you do. You drop it in the chat. You go ahead and share this, and you go ahead and get it on your page. That's what you do, because hashtag the Confident
Oh,
Woman.
glory. I feel a spirit coming on you, sis.
Woo, glory. Y'all have a good weekend, and I will see y'all next week. Thank you, ladies.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.